Hi everyone. Welcome back to yet another aspect where we'll be looking at module number 4. Um, in the meantime, we have looked at a couple of items. We started with module 1, which you had to go through module 1 and do activity at least 1.2 and then submit. There was another aspect where you had to do module 2. You can see the resources as well, and also make sure you complete your task 2.2a and then submit. Okay, and then we had something that summarized module 2 on learning outcome development, which most of us now are demonstrating that skill, and then concluded on something of assessment plan or training and assessment plan that compiled learning outcome, training methods, resources, assessment methods and resources, as well as the type of questions that you'd like to set. Now, bringing that forward, it's now development, what would call design and developing assessment. We all set exams and tests because an assessor does the setting of assessment. Remember, the moderator checks the work of an assessor. Where there are issues, the moderator uses standards to check the work. And I think that's what we're going to see later in module number 5 when it opens up, and module number 6. So for now, we are concluding the part for assessment. Now, this is a very interesting part. It might take a little bit of time because of a few elements which are very important. Now, the first part of module 1, as we navigate it, you're going to see the video navigation. So this video navigation will guide you about module 1 from 4.1a, b, c, and then you have other resources. So you have two sets of resources. 4.1 has resources 1, which is more of a paper-based assessment. Note, ABC guides you on paper-based assessment. Now 4.2 improves that a little bit and gives you some digital tools on how to develop assessment. How awesome of that. So take time, do not miss on 4.2a, and I'm going just to click on it now so that you see the components on my right. So watch on these videos. They give you some key skills on how to develop assessment. So go through each aspect. It has a guideline on FlexiQuiz, even the website and how to sign up. It will not take much. These videos are bits to around 6 minutes to 7 minutes. So listen to, because at the end of it all, you may be required to do a task. In 4.3, you may be required to develop an assessment based on what you've done in 4.2. So that's how important it is. So the task submission for this will be based on, so if I click on task number 4.3a, you may see the task on my right. It's about guiding you in terms of the steps that are maybe required going forward in terms of maybe the submission of task number 4.8. So watch out on 4.1. Again, 4.1 resources is more of paper-based assessment, and then you're going to see 4.2 more of digital assessment, and then you're going to see 4.3 where you have now this submission aspect. So don't forget, in 4.3 read the instructions. Again, you're going to see submission here. Like you have seen before, you may see submission, and then when you click on submission here, you may see now submitting assessment. Now remember, you may need to submit a link after you've completed your task 4.2, which gives you breakdown of each and every component that goes there. It's taking a time to open, but when it opens, it shows you, here we are, now the submission criteria. Now here, you may need now to copy the link here. All right, so when you complete 4.2, come in and copy the link here. All right, and then and then submit it at the bottom here and save, and then the assessor will be able to receive. Alternatively, the same link, you may copy it in a Word document and attach here, just like you've done before the other document. So you have two options: copy the link directly and submit, or copy a document like Microsoft Word with the link and then you check there. Now this is how we should be able to do. Now back to 4.1, here right on top, you're going to see some guidelines. So 4.1b will give you some guideline. All right, now these guidelines will take you through the steps by step on how to develop an assessment. It's more like guideline. It's a Microsoft Word guideline, and you can see it here. Let me see whether I can open it clearly. Now here you are. So you can see it has title. Go through when developing assessment, what you have on your title. So go through critically here, instructions that you need to put on your assessment, the structure of your assessment, that is in terms of question number, sections, the type of font you need to use, the margin. Also look into assessment content in terms of aligning the learning outcome. Remember, the assessment you develop always must align with the learning outcome. That's why learning outcomes are so crucial. The sets of assessment, meaning in terms of questions that you set, that is the variety of questions. Remember, we talked about that in the assessment plan. Are you going to set questions based on the assessment plan, multiple choice and all that? So this gives you the guideline. Level of difficulty, so watch on this. So I would request you to look at this, go through deeper, because this guideline shows you what you should observe when you're developing your assessment, including the marking guide. All right, so some of these tips and many more may be very important. So my expectation is you click on 4.1b and open this document and you peruse it through. So when you complete perusing it through, all right, don't forget the next thing that you're going to do after you finish on 4.1b, proceed to 4.1c. Now this one now gives you a sample template. All right, so 4.1c gives you a sample template where now it shows you an already established assessment. Right, so this assessment now gives you an idea of how an assessment has been developed. Now always remember, use 4.1b to check the guideline. So the task here is not so complicated. Your job is to open 4.1b and go through the guideline. Then the next thing that you're going to do is now to open, right, now an already established assessment. Now if you recall very well, my learning outcome was based on a walk around inspection, remember from the beginning. Now those learning outcomes, now you can see there's instructions here that have been developed, you can see questions that have been developed here, and you can see now multiple choice in section A. So open this assessment and peruse it through. Also go to question B, follow through all the way to the end, including the marking key, because on a paper base there's a structure that need to be followed in terms of developing your assessment. Now 4.1b gives those guidelines, and then 4.1c gives you now the type of questions and gives you an example of how it has graduated and set those questions all the way to the marking guide. Now remember, in module 5 and 6 it will be more of moderating the question paper or the assessment, and you may be looking at an assessment like this and you're able to moderate using the criteria provided for you. So don't forget, you have to go through sample assessment in 4.1c just to follow the guideline of 4.1b, so that you can now see how ABC is done in terms of paper-based assessment. All right, now don't forget, after you complete, you proceed to 4.2. now in 4.2, now this is where now you're going to be basing now your assessment development using digital resources, right? So 4.2 and then follow through all the guidelines of 4.2b. Now 4.2b now gives you the videos. Now the videos are aligned in a proper structure, now guiding you from, maybe you're going to see creating an assessment, for example. It's opening, and then you go to configure, you may see something to do with publish, and you may see something to do with maybe analyze. So these components are things that you need to watch. It's taking a little bit of time, but at least those are the guidelines that I would expect you to go through, so that you're able, good, here we are, so that you're able to go through. So 4.2, you should go through these videos here and then answer task 4.3 and submit. And if you can do that, I believe task 4 from 4.1 to 4.3 will be able to be finished. Take your time. My videos have a little bit delay because of trying to open, but I hope if you're a little bit patient, you'll be able to see how to navigate 4.2 for task module 4, and then go all the way after you complete task 4.18. Thank you, and hope you do this when you complete as a good exercise for what is expected of you. Thank you.